Times Square, one of America's most famous landmarks. But this vacation is not set in New York City. The major attraction of this escape holiday is the world's greatest ocean liner. Hello, I'm Don McGowan, and welcome aboard a transatlantic cruise on the Queen Elizabeth II. Farewell, Broadway. Hello, Piccadilly.
Sailing from New York Harbor, our route skirts the ice limit off the Grand Banks of Newfoundland, and then it's out to the open sea across the great Atlantic to England and the port of Southampton.
A night's home away from home. The QE2 is the flagship of the Cunard Line. Many cruises have special themes: food, films, mystery. Many seagoing vacationers like cruising because of the island hopping. But this voyage is quite different. There are no ports of call on this classic North Atlantic crossing. Activity-filled days and nights, fun, adventure, maybe even some romance. We sail at tea time.
The month is April, and the QE2, the city at sea, awaits her passengers for the first transatlantic crossing of the season. 2 hours before sailing, the pier is busy with pre-boarding arrangements. Special porters are on hand to ticket baggage with name and cabin number. There's no limit to the amount of personal baggage you can bring on board. Inside the terminal, lines for boarding passes are designated by alphabetical order. The QE2 operates a cashless society.
Now, there's a credit card registration, isn't there?
Yes.
Your fare includes just about everything. But before boarding, you may wish to establish an account with your credit card for extras such as bar service and shopping.
A limit of $500?
I think. You can read it.
That'll last a day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
The pre-boarding runs smoothly. With all my business easily completed, there's just time for the traditional souvenir photo, and we're ready to board. My baggage will be waiting for me when I reach my cabin.
Hi, I'm at 2053.
The midship lobby is the entranceway to the QE2. My cabin is just down the hall on 2 deck. This is my transatlantic home. This modest first-class cabin is spacious, has a TV, and the 2 portholes promise an excellent view. Before we sail, let's get acquainted with the ship. Maps are located at all stair landings and in all 22 elevators.
As we slip away from New York City, we will not see landfall for 5 days. I am reminded that this grand lady carries on the tradition of the great Cunard liners that sailed before her, the Queen Mary and the first Queen Elizabeth. The QE2 is the only ship in the world that continues to offer transatlantic service. 27 crossings between April and December. She's big, 13 stories high, and if you run from bow to stern, you will run the length of 3 football fields.
Since her construction in 1967, the QE2 has gone around the world and gone to war. Along the way, she's had a facelift. In 1987, her original steam turbines were removed and replaced with a sophisticated diesel-electric drive. This technology promises to take the Queen right into the next century. As we sail, we can meet some of our fellow passengers, say farewell to Manhattan, and see some of the famous sights of Upper New York Bay. Ellis Island was the United States' major immigration station until 1943. And there's another famous lady. The Statue of Liberty has been a symbol of friendship in New York Harbor for over 100 years.
The word posh was born at sea. It described the best cabins on long voyages. P-O-S-H. Port out, starboard home. You don't have to be a millionaire to be treated like one on the QE2. A staff of 1,000 serves 1,800 passengers. There are 20,000 bottles of wine in the cellar below. and the ship stores enough ice cream to make 24,000 cones. This cruise cannot be licked. Coming up next, fun activities on board and the remarkable Canadian whose vision launched it all. The Cunard family left America because they had no use for the ruckus being raised by revolutionaries like Tom Jefferson and Ben Franklin. The Cunards were loyal to the British Crown, so they moved to Nova Scotia, where they prospered as shipping merchants. In 1840, Samuel Cunard began a mail service between Britain and North America. Then he carried passengers, and a brand new mode of transportation was born, scheduled transatlantic service.
Cunard planned a fleet of 4 side-wheel steamers. These vessels could deliver a letter across the ocean in 14 days. In 1862, the development of the screw propeller changed ocean travel forever. The Grand Campania was the first Cunarder with twin propellers. At the turn of the century, Cunard put the new marine steam turbine to work in the Mauretania and the Lusitania. Launched in the 30s, the Queen Mary was soon followed by her sister ship, Queen Elizabeth. Over 1,000 feet in length, these superliners began another new era for Cunard. After the war, a new idea was taking shape at Cunard. Ships designed for cruising. Cunard made this idea a reality with the Coronia, the most luxurious ship to ever sail until the QE2.
Your days sailing across the Atlantic can be quiet, leisurely, or activity-filled. No matter what your mood, the QE2 satisfies the soul. Every night before you retire, you get a copy of the QE2 daily program for the following day. Something here for everyone. 9:30 in the morning, a lecture on bridge. In the afternoon, a screening of Rocky V, volleyball at 4:30, and end the day at midnight with a buffet.
All classes are free at the Golden Door Spa. You can participate in aerobics or a low-impact aqua fitness class. In the completely equipped gym, workouts are geared to 3 levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Sea hours are from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Activities are not limited to indoors. There's an opportunity to perfect your putt or tune up your swing with paddle tennis. And there's always the traditional shipboard favorite, shuffleboard. My partner first played on board another Cunard ship, the Europa, when she emigrated in 1937. Relax in a hot tub or enjoy a swim in either indoor or outdoor swimming pools. There are 4 pools on the QE2. Enjoy hour after hour of ocean views. When you find your favorite deck chair, you can reserve it for a small fee. Stroll the decks or move it along with a jog. There's always plenty of fresh sea air to spur you along. It would take 4 months for one person to participate in all the activities offered on board the QE2. Is it nap time yet? Fully trained nannies take care of children under 8 in the playroom. The youth director supervises the youth teen club for the 7 to 17 set. And they even let the big boys play.
1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3.
Your transatlantic crossing presents the opportunity of a lifetime to take up ballroom dancing.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Located on the quarterdeck, the library has morning, afternoon, and evening hours. With 3,000 volumes, this is the largest and most up-to-date library afloat.
Where's the quietest spot to read on a ship?
Well, you can read here in the library at any time, but you could try a corner in the yacht club.
Oh, the yacht club?
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Okay,
Thank you.
In the Computer Learning Center, there are lectures and instructions on how to get the most from your PC. The theme of this particular crossing is a murder mystery in the heat of the night. Looks like they found the victim. You've got 5 days to solve this crime. Prizes are awarded for the best sleuth and the most convincing murderer. When it comes to tea time, nobody does it as well as the English. Every afternoon, tea is served to first-class passengers in the Queen's Room, in the Club Lido to Transatlantic passengers, and on the open decks, weather permitting.
Ferrero, Cartier, Gucci. They are not on the passenger list, but you and your credit cards are invited to visit them here on the most impressive shopping promenade afloat. And you don't have to wait until you get to London to shop at Harrods.
This is Harrods' first seagoing branch. Inside, you'll find a range of world-exclusive gifts, men's and ladies' evening accessories, all at duty-free prices. Even if you don't enjoy shopping, you'll be amazed by the offerings and the sheer beauty of the displays. There's also a wide variety of souvenirs featuring the QE2 logo. If you've forgotten something at home, not to worry. You'll easily fill your needs here. You can even be outfitted with a tuxedo. The tradition of black tie continues on the high seas.
I think that meal pushed me to a 42 last night. If you are new to cruising, you may be concerned about the prospects of motion sickness. Modern ships today have stabilizers that help smooth out a rough sea. There are some very good over-the-counter drugs that will help prevent a queasy stomach. But I like the advice given to me on my first crossing by a senior steward. Stay active, get plenty of fresh air, and sip port and brandy occasionally. Preventing le mal de mer? I like the port and brandy idea. Coming up next, the choice of cabins and dining on the QE2.
Once at sea, the QE2 averages 600 to 700 nautical miles a day at an average cruising speed of 30 knots. On our 5-day cruise, we'll sail over 3,000 nautical miles. And who guides the QE2 through the waters of the North Atlantic? Captain Keith Stanley heads the crew of master mariners on the bridge. The wheelhouse contains all the navigational equipment. It is here that the officers of the watch maintain a 24-hour vigil using radar and a satellite navigator. Is the captain restricted to a specific route?
No, we're not. Once we leave the coastal waters of North America, then we don't have any restrictions whatsoever other than really safe navigation.
In modern cruising, class barriers have all but disappeared since that era when we watched Charles Boyer hustle Jean Arthur under the stars on the upper deck. However, here on the QE2, there are 2 travel classes, first class and transatlantic class, and there are various categories within those levels. But you'll find a cabin to suit your taste and your pocketbook. The price range is as wide as the ship herself.
A one-way fare in this first-class cabin located on 2 deck costs between $3,800 and $5,400 depending on the season. This lower-grade first-class cabin located 1 deck down costs $4,100 per person. Rooms for the disabled are available upon request.
This is a very modest first-class cabin. 2 single beds, telephone of course, TV set and VCR, 2 terry cloth robes, full bath and shower, 2 portholes here on 3 decks. On a clear day, you can see Portugal.
The price of this single transatlantic class cabin on 4 deck is $1,500 in the low season, which includes the months of April, May, November, and December.
This is a penthouse suite with private patio. A little breezy this afternoon. It is beautifully appointed, sofa, king-size bed, dressing area. The price range for this kind of accommodation is from $6,000 to $8,000 per person.
Superliner luxury comes in a variety of styles. The ultimate aboard the QE2 are the Queen Mary and Queen Elizabeth suites. These are deluxe split-level apartments with bedroom, separate sitting room, and private outside veranda. The price is also very luxurious at about $26,000.
On a cruise, part of the fun is dressing for dinner. During the day, of course, on board, the dress is very informal. At night, in 2 of the first-class dining rooms, it's tuxedos for the men cocktail dresses or evening gowns for the women. In the other two restaurants, jacket and tie. And just where do you eat on the QE2? Well, your level of accommodation, that is, the cabin plan you choose, determines where you dine. It's all very gracious.
A buffet-style breakfast and lunch are available to all passengers in the Club Lido under the Magradome. This indoor-outdoor room with a retractable glass enclosure is transformed into a glittering nightclub each evening. Located high atop the Queen with marvelous ocean views, the Mauritania is the ship's most spacious dining room. Transatlantic class passengers may choose from 2 seatings. The Princess Grill features 5-star cuisine in a romantic setting. Tableside food preparation adds to the dining experience. All meals served on board are included in the price of your passage. The top 188 paying customers dine in the Queen's Grill, located near the penthouse suites. The service is unhurried in luxurious surroundings. The Columbia features single-seating dining and breathtaking views. 5-course English breakfast and 7-course luncheons and dinners are typical fare in this first-class dining room. Wine service is extra. Special dietary requests may be made when you book your passage. Smoking and non-smoking sections are available. Special occasions such as landfall are marked with the traditional Baked Alaska Parade in all dining rooms.
We can thank or condemn the British for starting the practice of tipping. Here on the QE2, reward for service is at your discretion. In public rooms, bars, and for wine service and restaurants, a 10% gratuity is added to your account. Elsewhere on the ship, guidelines apply, and they're related to your level of accommodation. For example, in first class, $5 a day per person for your room steward or waiter. $3 to $4 a day for lesser accommodations. In the end, it's up to you. Sailing under the stars, the gaiety of nightlife on the QE2. That's coming up next on Travel. As you glide through the night, the QE2 is alive with entertainment. Oh, you can get a video to take back to your cabin if you want to retire early after supper, but you'll miss concerts and floor shows and disco parties. And between bar hopping, you can sail with Lady Luck at the casino. And the captain's cocktail party is a must.
Once at sea, the captain takes time to personally welcome the passengers on board.
Mr. McGowan?
Hello, Captain.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
Nice to see you again.
You have a good day today?
Great day.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
The captain's cocktail party has always been a traditional cruise ship occasion. It's an opportune time to meet fellow travelers and some of the QE2 staff. The party is held in the Queen's Room, one of the main public rooms. The ship's photographer will be happy to take your picture. All those dancing lessons will not have gone to waste when you get to strut your stuff on the ship's many dance floors. Nightly floor shows are just part of the entertainment. Located on the upper deck, the Yacht Club is just one of 6 bars on board. With a small drawing room atmosphere and a piano bar, this is a popular spot for before and after dinner drinks. A complete selection of cocktails, wines, and soft drinks are available at moderate prices. In the Players Club Casino, travelers will find a variety of 25-cent, $1, and $5 slot machines. The popular games of roulette and blackjack are also played. Run by London Clubs of London, the casino is open every afternoon and evening when the ship is at sea. The staff look forward to welcoming you and will explain the rules of the various games. You do not have to be a big spender to enjoy the casino. All this gambling sure works up an appetite, and just in time, too, for every evening at midnight, a delicious buffet is served in the Columbia restaurant.
Big slice, please.
It's very hard to resist. You can only justify the buffet by dancing up a storm at the disco in the Club Lido. Most evening activities go on until the wee small hours of the morning. There's so much to do before retiring.
You can purchase a transatlantic crossing in a variety of ways. For example, all one-way crossings include a British Airways economy class ticket in the opposite direction. For $995, you can upgrade to the Concorde. If you wish to sail back, there are discounts up to 50% on some combinations. In all that, there's a plan for you.
Regrettably, all enjoyable journeys do come to an end. Arrival at the Queen Elizabeth Terminal, Southampton, signals the end of our fun-filled transatlantic journey. After docking, passengers wait aboard ship for approximately 2 hours to enable baggage to be landed and sorted for customs. Passengers are provided with landing cards and clear British immigration during the voyage. An immigration officer travels with the QE2 expressly for this purpose. Once the main disembarkation is announced, you only have to go ashore, collect your baggage, and you're on your way.
The best way to get from Southampton to London is by train. The boat train schedule is timed for the QE2 arrival here. The trip from Southampton to London's Waterloo Station takes about an hour and a half. It's all very well organized. There's also a bus service, but all arrangements can be made aboard ship.
It seemed appropriate to end our trip here in London's Trafalgar Square. Admiral Nelson would have enjoyed Cunard's luxurious QE2.
For over 150 years, ships of the Cunard line have been transporting people from Britain to North America. On the QE2, the old world sailing tradition continues with style and grace. 5 exhilarating days from New York to London and a gateway to the rest of Europe. To paraphrase an old Cunard slogan, getting from there to here was more than half the fun. For Travel, I'm Don McGowan, and goodbye from London.
For more information on the QE2, please write to Travel, CFCF 12, 405 Ogilvie Avenue, Montreal, Quebec, H3N 1M4. Transportation to New York City was arranged by Amtrak. All aboard Amtrak, with destinations throughout the United States. Accommodations in Midtown Manhattan provided by Journey's End, where quality awaits you. Very comfortable, very affordable. Travel returned from London via British Airways, servicing 164 destinations in 75 countries. British Airways, the world's favorite airline. Don McGowan's wardrobe exclusively by Henry Marks, located on Drummond Street in Montreal.
Hello, I'm Don McGowan. We've come to New York City to meet a queen, the most famous ship in the world.
On board the Queen Elizabeth II for a transatlantic crossing from New York to Southampton, we enjoy stately accommodations, dine in style, celebrate special occasions, and keep fit aboard ship. Evening activities include the captain's cocktail party and casino-style entertainment.
Like the golden days of transatlantic sailing on the great QE2 on our next Travel. I'm Don McGowan in New York City. Our next vacation only begins here.
And continues aboard the QE2, where the days and nights are filled with fun and adventure.
From New York to London, 5 days on the Atlantic on our next Travel. Hello, I'm Don McGowan. We've come to New York City to meet a queen, the most famous ship in the world.
On board the Queen Elizabeth II for a transatlantic crossing from New York to Southampton. We enjoy stately accommodations, dine in style, celebrate special occasions, and keep fit aboard ship. Evening activities include the captain's cocktail party and casino-style entertainment.
Like the golden days of transatlantic sailing on the great QE2 on our next Travel. Hello, I'm Don McGowan in New York City. Our next vacation only begins here.
And continues aboard the QE2, where the days and nights are filled with fun and adventure.
From New York to London, 5 days on the Atlantic on our next Travel.